Hi friends, here we are given two quadratic equations ax square plus 2bx plus c and px square plus 2qx plus r equals 0. Now the ratio of roots of this equation is same as ratio of roots of this equation. Then we have to prove b square by ac equals u square by pr. Very interesting problem. We are given ratio of roots is equal. Okay. We know some of the roots some of the roots is minus 2b by a or product of the roots is c by a, etc., etc. We know some of the roots, we know product of the roots, but here we are given ratio of roots. Ratio of this roots is equal to ratio of this roots. Then what is the relation between a, b, c and p, q, r? Right, yes. So let us assume that alpha, beta are roots of this equation and gamma, delta are roots of this equation. Right. So what we are given? Alpha, beta. Alpha, beta are roots of this equation. Okay. Alpha, beta are roots of first equation. Right. Now, what we are given? We are given alpha by beta is equal to gamma by delta. Gamma, delta are roots of this equation. Let's see. Alpha by beta equal to gamma by delta. Okay. Now, alpha by beta are roots of this equation. Okay. Let's take this one. Alpha by beta is equal to gamma by delta. Okay, let's add 1 on both sides. This means alpha plus beta by beta is equal to gamma plus delta by gamma. What does this mean? This means alpha plus beta by gamma plus delta. Delta is equal to beta by delta. Right? We are pushing this here and this one here. Alpha plus beta by gamma plus delta equal to beta by delta. But at the same time, beta by delta. Beta by delta. Sorry, this is delta, right? Alpha by beta is equal to gamma by delta, right? Alpha by beta, the ratio of this roots, alpha by beta is equal to gamma by delta. Gamma, delta roots of this equation. Okay, we are adding 1 on both sides. That means alpha plus beta by beta is equal to gamma plus delta by delta. Okay, that means alpha plus beta by gamma plus delta is equal to beta by delta. So far, so good. But then what? What is beta by delta? Alpha by beta equal to gamma by delta. What does that mean? Alpha by gamma is equal to beta by delta. Right. This is equal to alpha by gamma also. Right. Alpha by gamma is equal to beta by delta. So far, so good. But what we want? We want the relation between A, B, C and P, Q, R. We are here. We have got some relation between alpha, beta, gamma, delta. But how to express this in terms of A, B, C and P, Q, R? We know some of the roots. We know some of the roots. Alpha plus beta we know. That is minus 2b by A. Similarly, gamma plus delta also we know minus 2q by q, P. But beta by delta is there. How do we express this in terms of ABC? This one we can express in terms of ABC and PQR. How do we express this? There's a small trick here. Beta by delta is equal to alpha by gamma. Then what we do? This one is equal to beta by delta, alpha by gamma. This should be equal to beta into alpha by gamma into delta whole root. Right? Because what we are doing, this is equal to this. This is equal to this. Then what we are doing? Basically, we are doing square of this. Square of this or square of this or multiplication of this and square root of that. Why we are doing? Because we know the product of roots. Product of the roots, we have a formula. We are using a clever trick here. Beta by delta, we know. Alpha by gamma, we know. So we are using both of that to express in terms of product. Otherwise, beta by delta, we cannot directly express in terms of ABC or PQR. Right? So basically, alpha plus beta by gamma plus delta is equal to beta by delta or alpha by gamma, which essentially means we can express these two, the product of these two, because these are anyway equal, and square root of that, which will anyway be equal to this one. Right? So now, alpha plus beta, what is alpha plus beta? Minus 2b by a, and gamma plus delta, what is that? Minus 2q by p And what is alpha by beta? Alpha beta, it is C by A, product of the roots. And gamma delta, product of the roots is again R by P. So we can cancel this minus, this two we can cancel. Right. The left hand side will be left with V by A times P by Q is equal to right hand side C by A times P by R. Right. This one will go to the top. This one will go here. C by A times P by R. What does that mean? B square P square by A square Q square is equal to C P by A R. What does that mean? This P we can cancel here. This A we can cancel here. We'll be left with B square P by A Q square is equal to C by R. If you put this side, this automatically means B square by C into A. B square by AC is equal to Q square. If you push it this side, Q square by this P into this R. Right? B square by A is equal to Q square by PR. Very simple problem. B square P by A Q square is equal to C by R. We are pushing Q square to the other side and C to this side. Similarly, we are pushing P to the other side. B square by AC is equal to Q square by PR. Very simple problem. We know the ratio of the roots, right? Ratio of the roots, we cleverly wanted to use sum of the roots and product of the roots. And how do we get that? Slight algebraic manipulation. Alpha by beta is equal to gamma by delta. We added 1 on both sides. Then we got alpha plus beta by beta equal to gamma plus delta by delta. That means alpha plus beta equal to alpha plus beta by gamma plus delta equals to beta by delta. Beta by delta is nothing but alpha by gamma, which is nothing but these two put together. This is actually equal to this because this and this are equal. So product of this is equal to square of either one of this. So square root of the product of this is equal to this or this and this, right? Right, guys. And then we just express, once we have reached this position, we expressed everything in terms of sum of the roots and product of the roots. Then we can easily express everything in terms of A, B, C, P, Q, R. Right, guys? Hope you like this. Thank you.